Welcome back, guys. We're live on the Binance crypto loan section. We'll be looking at how to get a Binance crypto loan, what is all about. We'll be talking about the basics concept about the Binance crypto loan. So you should be learning how to use the Binance crypto loan and the importance of the Binance crypto loan. So the crypto loan in general is an opportunity for Binance users or for users, cryptocurrency users to borrow assets from the exchanges. So in this scenario, Binance users have the opportunity to borrow cryptocurrencies from Binance directly by having on the Binance platform due to reasons that they feel will be more beneficial to them. So a cryptocurrency user usually utilize this option if they want to borrow for a spot trading, a margin futures trading, or for them to able to stake and earn a high annual percentage yield. So, a clear example or a better example is a scenario where a cryptocurrency user or a Binance user has an amount of BTC that he wishes to hold, or some metaverse tokens like the user wishes to hold for a long period of time. So, what this user would do if an opportunity presents itself, what they do if they need BTC to trade, they can come over to the Binance crypto loan section, and since they will have some amount of Sand token, or say they have some amount of Ethereum on their wallet, and they want to leave that in Ethereum because the market is usually very volatile, so you do not want to sell your assets or convert them to cryptocurrencies that you feel will not be doing well in the longer run. So they usually hold those cryptocurrency and go over to the Binance crypto loan section and borrow, use them as collateral, so they can get whichever cryptocurrency they want to use for various purposes on the platform. You can also get access to withdraw these tokens or sell these tokens if you do wish to. You can withdraw them from the Binance directly, so long your collateral has been done. So in this tutorial, we'll be covering how to go about it. So once you're logged into your account, make sure you've done your KYC as well as other necessary requirements on your account, and make sure your account is funded. There are currently lots of tokens that are available on the crypto loan section, including stable coins such as BUSD and USDT. So it says here collateral assets can be used for staking at the same time. Click here to view the supported coins. So the supported coins are the coins that are allowed for you to use as collateral. So let's say in a scenario where we want to borrow, let's say we want to borrow whichever token, it's on default already for BUSD. Let's say we want to borrow some amount of, let's just look for any token. We want to borrow some amount of which assets we, let's say we want to borrow some amount of USDT for our transaction or whichever asset. So right here you can see there are a list or a whole ton of tokens that are made available. So let's say we want to borrow some amount of uh which token are we going to borrow, which token, guys, you can let us know which token we want to borrow. For this tutorial, we're just going to go with whichever assets we want to go. Let's say we want to go with USDT, a stable coin. So we want to borrow some amount of USDT. So he said USDT, he said 100 USDT, lesser or equal to the amount, lesser or equal to 10,000 USDT. So you want to take note of the allowed you collateral, or the allowed or the minimum that you can borrow from these assets. So it says here the minimum amount that you can borrow is about 100 USDT. So since we don't want to borrow up to that, we'll be looking for other smaller tokens we can borrow. So we're going to click on XLM to see the minimum that we can get. Let's see if we can get 5 XLM. Okay, it says here we need to have at least we can borrow minimum of 200 XLM. So you're going to put up 200 XLM here. So the 200 XLM, I think that should be the equivalent of the $100. So it's going to calculate the amount of BNB that you can see. You only have 0.1 BNB. So what Binance does is that Binance checks your assets and lets you know which assets that you can use as collateral. So you can see your assets here. So Binance says you only have 0.12 BNB, but this transaction that can only pull through when you deposit 0.16 BNB. So that is some of the powers of these. So that is some of the programming of the Binance crypto loan. You cannot deposit a collateral that is not sufficient to cover for the loan you want to borrow. So you need to take note of this factor. There are also some keywords you want to know. Say only show staking, only show asset. These are just features that or filters that you can check. Initial LTV, margin call, and more. So on the loan term is the number of days you wish to borrow this cryptocurrency. So you can click on, let's say you want to borrow for 14 days. You want to borrow for 14 days, you can click on that. You see the daily interest. The interest is being calculated. So the interest accumulates after successful borrowing and is calculated based on an hourly basis. So you want to take note that the interest is usually calculated on an hourly basis. So if you take a loan on the Binance crypto loan section for 1 day, you should be noting that your charges are based on 24 hours, so that you'll be paying 24 hours times the hourly rate. So for this hourly rate is about 0.001667, which is written here for this in transaction. So if you're borrowing it for 14 days, you want to take note of that calculation. Binance also gives users the opportunity to pay ahead, to pay with time. So if you're done with your transaction and you wish to pay before the deadline, you can be able to do that. We'll also be looking at the user manual here, as well as a tutorial video to give you a brief overview. So for this transaction, we might not be able to put through with this crypto loan transaction, as the assets that we currently have, there is a minimum requirement for us to borrow. So Binance does not just borrow minimal amounts out to users. They do, however, give users the opportunity to borrow reasonable amounts of tokens. So it's usually users that usually utilize this feature. Okay, let's say we want to borrow 20 sand tokens. Let's see if it's going to pull through. Okay, so for 20 sand tokens that we wish to borrow, says here we'll need to pay, you only have about 0.12. So guys, let's change it up a little bit. We're going to change it up a little bit and still navigate if there are other cryptocurrencies that will be lesser for us to put through. So let's say for Dogecoin, we want to acquire some amount of Dogecoin, or want to borrow some amount of Dogecoin, or let's say we want to borrow some amount of, okay, Dogecoin. Let's go with Dogecoin. So guys, this is not financial advice. We're not giving you financial advice or a suggestion of cryptocurrencies you should borrow. So you should take note that whenever however you want to push through with a crypto loan, you need to have a purpose for why you're doing it. Most of the reasons why people do it are because they see an opportunity which they can utilize in getting good returns, or high annual returns. So like the instance where we said a customer, a Binance user wishes to hold their cryptocurrency like Ethereum or BTC for a long period of time, they can always come over to the Binance crypto loan section, whenever they are in need of other cryptocurrencies. Let's say Binance is going to be doing their giveaway for Sandbox token. So since Sandbox token is been event activity or giveaway is currently ongoing, some crypto users that do not have this cryptocurrency might want to borrow on the Binance crypto loan, stake their long-term crypto assets like BTC or ETH or whichever cryptocurrency, stake it on the Binance platform and borrow the amount of Sand token they want to use for their transaction, participate in the Sand in the giveaway or in the airdrop, and when they are done they can now repay the token. So the good thing here is that while you are holding this cryptocurrency, the price could move in your favor. The price of BTC or the price of ETH could increase in value. So those are some of the reasons why they don't convert these tokens to stable coins or to convert it to the particular cryptocurrencies they want to use. So since these values they are meant for a long-term investment, they can leave it there. And when these values appreciate, you won't when you are redeeming your or paying back your crypto loan, you will still be in profit, as the value you staked came back to you in an higher value. So let's say we want to get some amount of Dogecoin. Let's say 2000 Dogecoin. That's the minimum amount of Dogecoin. So you guys, you want to take note of the minimum amount that is required by these crypto assets. So it says I need to have about 1 point. So whichever so let's say I want to stake sand token for this. Say you only have about 0.12 sand token, so this transaction will not be able to go through. So let's say we want to choose something else like dot or BUSD. Let's just leave it at BUSD and see what the minimum requirement for BUSD. I think it should be around 100 BUSD or so. Let's say we want 100 BUSD. Let's see what we're going to get. For the 100 BUSD, if we are to stake and sand as our collateral, Binance will be collecting 43 tokens of sand token from this collection. So the initial LTV we'll be talking about it, the margin call, liquidation, loan to value, we'll still be looking at it. But you can see there's no red flags. It shows that the transaction can be able to pull through if you want to borrow 100 BUSD for 7 days. So your repayment amount will now be 100.280056. This is what you will be paying for this particular crypto loan. So we're going to click on start borrowing. Going to click on start borrowing, and we'll still, once we click on start borrowing, so you understand how it is in general. So guys, there is a table of Binance Loan Savings Agreement which you want to take note of. Although we don't want to borrow these cryptocurrency or these assets, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to push through this transaction so you understand the full concept and how it works in general. So order confirmation, no amount 100 BUSD, collateral amount is the amount. The loan term is made for 7 days. Hourly interest is made for the hourly interest is made for this is the hourly interest. Total interest is made for 0.28. So guys, you also want to check up on something, is that you want to take note of this repayment amount so you know which repayment amount is cheaper to handle. So most times the repayment amount, the longer the period, the more expensive these transactions are meant to be. So you want to take note of those you want to take note of those aspects. So we're going to wait a little bit so we can push up and also check the repayment amount for a transaction that is meant for a longer period of time. So we're going to wait a little bit. I'm going to cancel this up. So we are meant to pay 100.280056 as a return. So let's say we want it for 14 days. How much is it going to be? So it is increasing. So you need to take note that it is increasing. What you'll be paying is increasing. So for 180 days, what you have to pay on a daily basis is 107. So you want to take note of this. So since we don't want to pay for that long, we should be going over with this basic requirements. So we're going to click on start borrowing now. We're going to click on start borrowing. So sorry guys, I think we're having some network issues. So we're going to click on start borrowing now. Once you click on start borrowing, the pop-up menu is going to come up. So we've agreed to the terms and conditions. So it's required you check out the terms and conditions so you understand what the service agreement is all about. So we're going to click on confirm. Expiration date is set as February 5th. Click on confirm. So once you click on confirm, it should let you know that your Binance crypto loan has been successful. So your value will now be shown in your spot wallet. The amount of crypto loan you just borrowed will now be available in your spot wallet. So you can go to your spot wallet to go and check this transaction. So we're going to wait a little bit. I think we're having some network backlogs. Click on confirm. Okay. And click on confirm again. So it says we're back online now. We're going to push through this transaction. Our network just came back. So we're going to pay for a payment amount 100.280056 amount of BUSD. So that's what the interest is about 0.28. So all you need to do once you are sure of the transaction you want to put through is to click on the I've read and terms and conditions. Once you click on it, you're now left to click on the confirm button. So once you click on the confirm button, it should tell you that your transaction is now successful. So it said loan success. You can see the loan success. It says loan success. So all you can do next is to go over to the ongoing orders to see the orders that are currently ongoing. So it said total debts that we are currently in is 100.0016670. So that's the total debt we are in, and the collateral for the 3.077 has been deducted from our assets or our spot wallet. So you can also view more on this transaction. Say hourly interest, accrued interest for the period, dates borrowed. These are just some of the requirements or some of the basics here. So guys, there are some FAQs which are very important for all users to know that are interested in crypto loans. They said, what qualification does it require? You need to understand that as long as you're a registered Binance user, you have access to borrow a loan on the Binance platform. And so long you have the collateral that is needed. For question number 2, it says Binance Loan supports the borrowing of several cryptocurrencies. It says for users who want to know which crypto that Binance can borrow. It also says for what crypto assets can one use for collateral. So the Binance supports various collaterals. So you want to navigate on the Binance platform and choose the cryptocurrency that is available on your spot wallet and check it out, which value, if the value is enough to part with your cryptocurrency or the assets you want or the loan amount or loan assets you want. And it says here how long are the loan terms for. Loan terms are usually for 7 to 180 days. Interest, how is the interest calculated? The interest is calculated hourly, and less than an hour is regarded as an hour. So how do you repay? So you have to repay them manually on the order page. The interest has to be repaid before the principal. So we're going to look at some basic terms here. He said LTV, which is the loan to value, or the value of a loan to the value of your collateral. So the LTV is being regarded as the value of your loan to the value of your collateral. The price used here is the index price. Different collateral coins have different initial LTVs, which means when you use different coins as collateral of the same value, the loan you make is of different value. So now you want to know what happens when the LTV is too high. So if your LTV is too high, then margin call LTV, we will inform you to add more collateral or to repay your loan. So you want to take note that your LTV needs to be low. So if your loan to value is higher than liquidation LTV, we will liquidate your collateral to repay your loan. So this usually happens in terms where the value of assets you use as collateral is losing value. So it's losing value. So if the collateral is currently losing value, Binance will notify you to increase your collateral. So in that case, you will be called upon to increase your collateral. If you do not or are unable to meet up, Binance will have no other option than to liquidate your asset before it runs into a bad debt. So how can you adjust my collateral? So you can adjust your collateral on the other page. You can always add more collateral when your LTV is lower than the initial LTV you used. So you can remove some of your collateral too. So once your cryptocurrency appreciates in value, or the assets your LTV that you use appreciates in value, you can also remove some collateral. So what happens if my loan repayment is overdue? Binance will definitely liquidate your collateral to repay the loan in particular. So you cannot use crypto I borrow to trade on futures. Say yes, you can do with the cryptocurrency you've borrowed. You can utilize them for whichever transaction. So guys, these are some of the basic questions. It says, is there any risk when the collateral is used for staking? Yes, the Binance strives to offer its users the best staking projects. Binance do not assume liability for any losses incurred due to a project on-chain contract security. So you need to know this. And with the profits of the staking fluctuate, say yes, the profit from your staking will fluctuate and be adjusted over time. So guys, I'll still be leaving you guys with loads of articles to check out. So this is the residual interest on these particular assets we just collected. On the other page, we're going to go over to either adjust LTV or to repay. To adjust LTV gives you the opportunity to either you want to increase your LTV or you want to reduce your LTV in cases where your assets must have appreciated or more, or you want to add more to it. So you can see on this asset, amount borrowed, collateral amount, we are on a low risk because LTV is about 58.51. Medium risk is when it goes to this level. So you can see we are in a good shape. We're in a good shape, but usually best your LTV is as low as possible. So those are some of the basic importance. So we're going to close this and click on the repay section. So on the repay section, once you click on the repay section, this is what it's going to show. It's going to tell you if you want to repay everything you borrowed or you want to repay just a portion. So since we want to repay everything we borrowed from the our debt or total debt, we're going to click on max. So max, this is what we're going to borrow. It says I need to confirm payment. The total debt is 100.001 BUSD. Your free asset is 1143486 2000. So the LTV after repayment return collateral, this is it. So your collateral will now be refunded to you. We're going to click on confirm repayment. So we are currently completed. So we just completed a crypto loan order, as well as completed a repayment order. So guys, we do hope this tutorial video is informative enough for you. We hope you've learned something. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more. I'll be dropping some articles in the description box, so check it out for more guides on how to go about the Binance crypto loans. Thanks for watching, guys.